information, visit our website, mohawkvalleyliving.com.
It's time for the Cooper Group's road trip to Hockeytown, USA, aka Clinton, New York. We're traveling in a new 2007 Kia Sorento, courtesy of Cooper Kia on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Clinton was known as School Town, and to many, Hockey Town. But this time of year, some people know it as Beantown.
A little bit down the road from the village of Clinton on Kirkland Ave, you'll find George's. Now, for most of you, when you think of George's, you think of flowers, all kinds of flowers from spring through fall, like the mums here. But if you look them up in the phone book, you'll find George's farm products. Why? Because right here in the Mohawk Valley, you will find fresh beans like these. Oh, nothing like a fresh bean. They are brought from the farms around the area here to George's, where they are packed and shipped all over. As a matter of fact, if you're eating in one of the fine restaurants in New York City, the odds are pretty high that the beans came from the Mohawk Valley.
It says farm products because our original business was wholesale produce and packing, which we still do to this day. Those were picked this morning. They come from local farms in the area. They could be New Hartford, Sequoia. A lot of the beans you see in the fields, probably for the most part, if they're not canner loads, which goes directly to be canned, will probably come through here.
And where do they go from here?
They'll go down to Pennsylvania, New York City. They go to Canada, Tennessee, Michigan, any place that calls and wants a fresh pack of green beans.
But they are also here locally.
And they are local in local grocery stores as well, yes. My brother and I are the third generation. My grandfather passed to my father and has just been passed to my brother and I.
Now, why do you guys want to do this too?
It was something that was worked at very hard by my grandfather and by my father. My grandfather basically started with $1 in his pocket and built it to be what it is today. And I just feel it would be a travesty just to let it go, just to go out in the world and do another job, because there's a lot of family pride here, and we don't want to really let that go.
There's no doubt that I would be in the penalty box if I came here to Clinton and didn't talk about hockey. And so here we are at the very famous Clinton Arena. The arena is and has been the heartbeat of Clinton for over 50 years. It was built back in the early 50s with money from the community. It continues in the tradition of providing ice for those who want to play hockey from age 3, I'm told, up into people's 80s. It's also here for figure skating. This was all started because of the dream of one man, Ed Stanley, known to many of you as Mr. Hockey. And I know that Ed would be very pleased to know that the tradition continues when it opens again on September the 24th.
Well, I got involved because they had a skating rink in Clinton, and from the time I was wee high, I started skating, and then got into the high school program at that point, and then went on to Hamlin College, had one semester there before I got called into service in World War II. We got out in early fall of '45, and there weren't enough men back for a town team and not enough for a college team, so they combined for a year under Ed Stanley. And out of that grew the eventual building of this arena, because we drew some very good crowds during that, thank God, hockey is back period. And out of that grew the Clinton Comets. Originally it was all local players, but now it was added college players, and then a handful of Canadians started coming down and play with us too. We had a big rivalry at Hamlin College versus Colgate, and eventually some of those Colgate players, Greg Bott in particular, eventually joined the Clinton Hockey Club. Greg Bott was the greatest player ever to be in Central New York, in my opinion. Came out of Buffalo originally. Very popular, genial fellow, and I enjoyed playing with him for several years. I had the idea ever since I was about 12 years old, what do you want to do with your life? I think of some guidance class in Clinton Central School. I said, I want to be the hockey coach of Clinton. And out of that came my wish, and also as a social studies teacher, and thoroughly enjoyed my 28 years as coach of the Clinton High School hockey team.
Now I'm here for you, so they say in my school, to be kind and assert and protect. Just trying to find my way back home. Just trying to find my way back home. Just trying to find my way back home. Just trying to find my way back home.
To look at the sign behind me, you might think that it's pronounced Osanit, but for those in the know, they know that it's Osanit. Now, Osanit is the oldest pizza parlor in the Mohawk Valley, and you might think that Osanit is a name of somebody. You're not going to find anybody with that name, because Osanit means street smart, and if you're smart, you'll walk right on over here and get yourself some of the best pizza in the entire Mohawk Valley.
Osanit's in Utica has been around almost 100 years, but it's relatively new here in Clinton. We asked owner Carla Conley if they've made any improvements to the pizza.
Oh no, we have not touched the original recipe of the pizza, not at all. That's something we will never even try to do, because why mess with something that is the best? But we have capitalized on other things. We have introduced the focaccia sandwiches, our signature salads. I mean, we are the greatest.
Now